The year is 2013, and Leslie Benzies is currently the president of Rockstar North. He's been with the company since 1995 when it was originally known as DMA Design, and he's now at the peak of his career thanks to the monumental release of GTA 5. However, just about a year later, he would be let go from the studio after some allegations of unsavory actions at work, and Leslie would quite literally be locked out of the Rockstar offices. Not happy about this, Leslie would then sue Rockstar and Take-Two for $150 million, which would eventually be settled out of court. Despite losing his job at Rockstar, Leslie Benzies now has a wad of cash from them and is also one of the most respected names in all of gaming. So he decides to take his money and his vast knowledge working on previous GTA games, and in 2019, he creates his own game studio, Build a Rocket Boy. Things went quiet for a few years while they were, developing games. And at Gamescom 2022, they finally have an announcement for their first project, Everywhere. But wait. What the hell was that? Everywhere was one thing, but what is this futuristic action game at the end as well? Details are almost non-existent about this project, so we will just have to wait and see. And in March of 2023, we finally get a teaser trailer for their new game, Mindseye, an action-adventure, story-driven game set in a future where the world is run by AI. Or so we think, because we still don't really know anything about this game yet. But needless to say, people were hyped. It's got Leslie Benzies, one of the most decorated studio runners in the world, a whole dev studio at his disposal, and the highly acclaimed Alex Hernandez, who is the main actor for Mafia 3. Nothing could go wrong. But quickly before we continue, are you looking for an awesome open world game and to take that experience with you anywhere on the go? Then look no further than One State. One State is a massive open world roleplay game built for mobile where you create your own story with complete freedom. Become a criminal mastermind, a business tycoon, a law enforcer, or just explore and meet new people along the way. Want to protect the streets? Suit up and join the police force, or if you're craving chaos, build your own empire in the criminal underworld. Prefer honest work? Become a miner, a lumberjack, a performer, or a savvy entrepreneur? The choice is yours. Take part in epic gang wars, join crime syndicates, invest in real estate, or just chill with up to 500 players on the same server where every session feels alive. Make friends, make enemies, customize your ride, join factions, form clans, and build your legacy. There is always something to do. Earn cash flipping cars, brokering deals, or diving headfirst into high-risk criminal operations. But stay alert, the streets are dangerous. Climb to the top as mayor, pull strings behind closed doors, or dominate the streets. Just know that every decision counts. One day you rule the city, the next you're doing time. The dynamic social system makes it even better with real-time voice and text chat, means you can recruit allies, backstab rivals, or plan your next big score on the fly. My favorite part of One State is that it brings all the excitement of a fully open world game to your phone so you can play wherever and whenever. You can both enjoy this game with a starting bonus and support the channel by using the link or by scanning the QR code and using promo code Jetro to get a free $10,000 jumpstart on your life in One State. Also make sure to check out their website onestate.com and you'll unlock daily rewards and get access to exclusive in-game offers you won't find anywhere else. Now, let's get back to the video. After releasing the teaser in March of 2023, people were hyped, but also a little confused. You see, while it looked cool, no one actually knew what the hell this game was about. Is it open world? Is it an online game? Is it a futuristic GTA? Who knows? So people once again patiently waited for more details to come out, and over a year later, we would get a few, but nothing major. Then in February of 2025, Build a Rocket Boy would drop its first cinematic trailer for Mindseye, and it looked amazing. Explosions, AI, war, a corrupted past, fun driving, and it's all being led by Leslie Benzies. And the best part is it's releasing on June 10th of this year. Over the next few months, Mindseye would begin pumping out trailers and behind the scenes on a regular basis. However, there were a few worrying questions that fans had as well. For one, Even though it's reminding people a lot of a GTA game set in the future, fans still have no idea what the hell this game is about. In fact, the confusion was so high that they had to release a 6-minute video explaining exactly what this game was. Also, the game takes place in a huge open world set in a futuristic Las Vegas, but nowhere has this game actually been advertised as an open world, just a narrative-driven action-adventure. There's also the slight problem that this game supposedly comes out in less than 3 months, but we haven't seen any actual gameplay yet. However, people were sure with Leslie Benzies working on the project that they had nothing to worry about. Look, he's even seen playing Mindseye and giving his own feedback for what needs to be changed, so he's clearly on top of things. But as the months get closer to release, some new info starts to come out that, well, doesn't sound good. For one, it was confirmed that Mindseye was indeed not an open world game. Instead, it's being described as a pseudo-open world game meant to give you the feel of a huge open world without actually letting you do the fun part of exploring it. But then it comes out that the game is only about 20 hours worth of gameplay, which definitely isn't the longest story mode game ever, but if the story's good, then we'll get by. But this is where things start to get really bad. You see, a few weeks before launch, it was discovered that on Glassdoor, a job search website, it was found that Build a Rocket Boy and Leslie Benzies didn't quite have the greatest reputation. There were countless posts calling the studio a toxic work environment and was constantly accused by its staff of excessive overtime, incompetent leadership, and internal conflicts. In fact, Cyberboy, my friend and fellow YouTuber, had picked up on this info early and reached out to some of the devs for interviews, and they had a lot to say.
Yeah, one of the things with Build a Rocket Boy is that, making Leslie happy meant that there was a lot of toxic positivity. You always had to tell Leslie that everything is great, it's awesome, and it's whatever.
The devs were quoted saying how Mindseye would have a lot of problems at launch, the development cycle was a disaster, and even calling the studio a cult around Leslie Benzies as the Messiah. And all these devs are saying this about a game that's set to release in just 2 weeks. And it wouldn't get any better when the CFO and Chief Legal Officer would both leave the company before the game even has time to hit shelves. And it's not getting any better because the co-CEO of Mindseye, Mark Gerhard, is now in Discord chats calling anyone who speaks negatively about Mindseye a paid Rockstar creator. The game quickly gets dubbed Cyberpunk 2077 too. Fans had waited years and years for this game from Leslie Benzies and built massive amounts of hype, just for it all to be sucked away by the game's own developers. So with the hype slowly turning into chaos and people canceling their pre-orders left, right, and center, there was only one thing left to do. And finally, on June 10, 2025, Mindseye would officially go live. And oh my god, it was awful. Bugs everywhere. Stretched faces, janky physics, unintelligent artificial intelligence, walking on water, new methods for causing traffic, graze an NPC, mission failed. Go 5 feet out of the area, mission failed. Die in a certain spot, too bad, because your game is now infinitely bugged, respawning you in the same spot to an immediate mission failed. Terrible writing.
Jacob, did you know what this is? It's the harvest! And we are the crop. I'm afraid so, Jacob.
That's AI. That's another AI line right there.
And a whole shitload of performance issues. Keep in mind as well that a Mindseye dev once said that this game had $500 million in development. If you were running the game on a PC with good specs, your game probably ran fine for the most part. But even then, you were greeted at the very least with occasional stuttering that you couldn't fix. On the other hand of the spectrum, however, it was pretty much unplayable. But for the people who were able to play with little to no problems, surely the gameplay would make up for these shortcomings, is what everyone thought before immediately being greeted with gameplay from a PS3 game. Play is less advanced than the first Gears of War, the mission design is outdated, the story might have been written by ChatGPT, and it wasn't even remotely open world. Actually, that's kind of unfair, because there is a free roam option after you beat the campaign. But you're locked to using this goofy looking NPC, you're given a 2011 mom's soccer car that you can't change, and there's literally nothing for you to do but explore. completely defeating the purpose of making a massive open world. Darkspace, another friend of the channel, did a video comparing GTA 4 and Mindseye lost in almost every category, and this is a game that came out in 2008 that Leslie Benzies also worked on. Some streamers attempted sponsored streams of Mindseye on release, but they couldn't actually start the game in order to promote it.
Try this again. Anyways, guys,
And some couldn't even hold their composure when trying to promote the game.
And type exclamation mark spawn in chat and I give you a link.
In fact, it got so bad that Build a Rocket Boy had to actually cancel the sponsored streams because of how bad the game was running for most people.
The sponsor just paused the sponsored stream. So, first time that's happened.
So in conclusion, the game was shit. Look, I'm not trying to say that some people didn't enjoy the 16 hours of gameplay this game had to offer, but what I am saying is that it's no wonder this game became the worst rated game of 2025 in less than a day. For the entire week of launch, the Mindseye Reddit became a playground for people to dunk on this game, same with the media, to the point where the only positive things that people had to say about Mindseye were almost always on sponsored videos, and it hasn't gotten much better since. After the historic bombarding of hate this game faced at launch, second maybe only to Cyberpunk, on top of all the devs coming out to criticize the studio, Build a Rocket Boy would start doing some PR work to help quell the hatred.
We are cooked.
And one of their brilliant ways of doing this was by calling all the devs who spoke out lazy and incompetent, as well as laying off hundreds of developers from the company. This is even more worrying because they already have a full roadmap for 2025 with 100 less people to actually make it happen. Despite Leslie Benzies' unprecedented history making games, a lot of people actually blame him for the state the game is in. I had briefly mentioned earlier that Leslie had uploaded a video of him playtesting Mindseye and creating tickets for his team to fix, but something tells me those tickets were given more priority than stuff that was actually important.
Chris, you got a ticket about the fire extinguisher. Did you get the raindrops over here?
Ultimately, we have no idea what the future of this game looks like, but judging from the layoffs, it's hard to imagine there is any. And whether Build a Rocket Boy can make a return from this, we will have to wait and see.